Hello guys, welcome in today's session. I am Professor Fayyaz Kharadi from Department of Mechanical Engineering. In today's session, we are going to learn what is jump phenomena in CAM from unit number 4, CAM and follower from theory of machine subject. In a CAM and follower arrangement, the follower should be in contact with CAM surface during its working. This is the requirement of CAM and follower assembly. For this purpose, the follower is kept pressed against the cam surface with help of spring force. In this figure, you can see the retaining spring or closed coil helical spring you can see here, and this spring is continuously pressing down the follower in downward direction. That is the spring force and self weight of the follower. Beyond a particular speed of cam, the follower may lose contact with the cam due to inertia forces on the follower. This phenomena is called as cam jump or bounce. You know, cam is rotating with uniform angular velocity and there is continuous contact between follower surface and cam surface. This is the requirement. After some rotation, if the rotational speed of the cam goes on increasing beyond a particular speed, there is no contact between follower surface and cam surface. That speed is called as a limiting speed or jump speed, and that phenomena is called as cam jump or bounce. During the jump, when the follower will again come in contact with cam surface, it may severe impact on cam surface. This causes damage to cam surface, hence reduces the life of cam. At the time of impact, hammering noise is generated which results in vibration of the system. Cam jump may be avoided. That means cam jump phenomena is not applicable in the applications. That is a dangerous speed as it damage the cam surface also and it may causes accident also. So cam jump may be avoided by increasing the stiffness of the spring or by limiting the rotating speed of cam. Here in front of you, you can see the figure. In figure A, the assembly of cam and profile cam surface and follower is given, you can see here, in which it contains the flat face follower is the type of flat face follower which connected with retaining spring which continuously press the follower surface for keeping the contact with the rotating cam. The cam is rotated with uniform angular velocity omega in clockwise direction. O1 is the center of rotation or O1 is the center of the cam surface, cam profile, and that O1 is shifted to O for making the cam a rotation. So the shifting of that center of rotation of cam O1 to O, that distance is called as a eccentricity. Okay, so O1 is the center of cam profile and the center is shifted to O. That shifting is called as a eccentric distance or it is called as a eccentricity. Now in figure B, the free body diagram of flat face follower is shown here, in which you can see the spring force Fs which is in downward direction, the contact force by the cam in upward direction, that is denoted by F, and inertia force in, you can see, in downward direction again, which is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration, and that acceleration is nothing but double derivative of displacement y double dot. So that inertia force is given by my double dot, which is nothing but derivative of displacement, which is y is nothing but displacement of lift of the follower. Now let us see the derivation part of jump or critical speed. Y is the lift or displacement of the follower with cam rotation in meter. M is the mass of follower in kg. E is eccentricity of camshaft in meter. K is capital K is the spring stiffness in Newton per meter. F is the contact force between cam and follower in Newton. Fs is the spring force in Newton, which is equal to P plus K into I, where K is the stiffness of the spring and Y is the lift or displacement of the follower. Now P is nothing but preload on the spring in Newton, which is equal to mass into gravitational force m into g plus k into delta I, where delta I is initial compression of spring and omega is the angular speed of cam in radian per second. Let the displacement of eccentric cam with flat face follower is given by y is equal to E into 1 plus cos theta. How that displacement value is getting? Y is equal to E into 1 plus cos theta. Here you can see Y is the, in this triangle, see O is camshaft axis and O1 is a rotation of cam or center of cam profile O01. That much portion and distance between O01 is eccentricity. Okay. Now you can see here O and O1. O1 is the initial position of that point. After theta rotation of cam, O1 take new position as O2. When the cam will rotate through the rotation theta, the follower will move the linear displacement as y. Linear displacement as y. Okay. Now, when there is theta rotation of cam, the y is the displacement of the follower. Okay. Now, how much distance y is traveling by the follower, that we have to find out. So y is nothing but O01 minus OM. O01 minus M is equal to y displacement. O01 minus O2 M is this distance. So what is O01? O01 is nothing but eccentricity E minus OM. Now we have to find out OM. For finding OM, I will consider the triangle O2M. O2M. That triangle. In that triangle, this hypotenuse O02 is equal to eccentricity. That is the distance. That is the angle theta, and that we have to find out. So OM is equal to E cos theta. OM is equal to E cos theta. So O01 E minus E cos theta, that is the distance OM, E cos theta. So from this I will take E as a common. So E into bracket 1 minus cos theta. So this is the value of displacement y. So y is equal to E into 1 minus cos theta. Clear? Now we have to find out the acceleration A. What is the acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but double derivative of displacement. The single derivative differentiation of its displacement with respect to time will be velocity, and differentiation of velocity with respect to time is nothing but acceleration. So acceleration is double derivative of displacement with respect to time is nothing but acceleration. So y double dot is equal to I am directly showing the double differentiation of that displacement is nothing but E into omega square into cos theta. Okay, putting the value of 1 minus cos theta is equal to sin 2 theta. Okay, and after differentiation of that, you will get the value of acceleration is equal to E omega square into cos theta. Okay. So this is the value of y, or this is the value of displacement, and this is the value of double derivative of displacement, nothing but acceleration, is equal to E omega square into cos theta. Now, according to D'Alembert principle, inertia force plus summation of all the external forces is equal to 0. Okay, so M from the display free body diagram, downward direction forces I will consider as positive, and in upward direction force I will consider as negative. So F will be minus F. So My double dot plus spring force Fs minus in upward direction, so it will be minus F is equal to 0. So My double dot plus Fs is equal to, F will go on the right side, is equal to F. So F is equal to My double dot plus Fs. Now putting the value of displacement and acceleration, F is equal to M, value of Y double dot is equal to E omega square cos theta, plus putting the value of Fs. What is the spring force? Spring force is equal to P plus Ky, where P is a preload on the spring, plus K into Y. P plus K into Y. What is the value of Y? Is here E minus E cos theta. Now multiplying this, P plus Ke minus Ke cos theta, plus Me omega square cos theta, Me omega square cos theta. From these two terms, this term I will take common, minus Ke cos theta and plus Me omega square cos theta. In that term I will take E cos theta as common, E cos theta. So F is equal to P plus Ke plus E cos theta into E cos theta will be common, M omega square minus K. So value of F is equal to P plus Ke plus E cos theta into M omega square minus K. This is the formula for force cam applied by cam during rotation. Remember this value. Now come to the next point. From above equation, it is clear that contact force is maximum. Contact force F is maximum when theta will be 0. Theta will be 0, and contact force F is minimum when theta will be 180 degree. Okay, when theta, that means that O point will rotate to 180 degree, that force will be minimum. Okay, that force will be minimum, and when that force will be minimum, there is no contact between cam and follower. That means there will be jump between cam and follower. Jump will occur when theta will be 180 degree. That means that O point will take the new position. That means maximum upward direction. That means it will rotate to 180 degree. At that time, jump will occur. So when contact force is less than 0 or negative, when contact force is less than 0 or negative, the follower would lose contact, which result in jump. Contact force will be minimum or 0 or negative, and at that time theta will be 180 degree. Theta will be 180 degree. At that time jump will occur. So jump will happen if cam speed is increased beyond particular speed, and that particular speed nothing but jump speed omega j. When that happen, that will happen at theta is equal to 180 degree, and that force applied by the cam is equal to 0. So putting the value of F is equal to 0 and theta will be 180 degree in this equation. In this equation, theta will be 180 degree. Okay, and F will be 0. So 0 is equal to P plus KE plus E cos 180 into M omega square minus K. Theta is equal to 180 degree and F will be 0. So cos 180 is equal to minus 1. Cos 180 is equal to minus 1. So this term will become minus E. Minus E. Cos 180 is equal to minus 1. So this plus will become minus. So minus E. Minus E M omega J jump speed. At that time jump will occur when theta will be 180 and F will be 0. So this omega will change here. Omega J jump speed. Omega J square minus K. Now solving that equation P plus KE, this complete term I will move to left side. Okay, P plus KE. So minus E M omega J square when it move right side. So this will become minus, this will become plus here. M E omega J square. And this minus minus plus, but when it will move left side, this will become again minus. Minus minus plus, but when this will move into left side, it will become again minus. So minus K into E. Minus K into E. Now we have to find out the value of omega J, that is a jump speed. What will be the jump speed? Okay, so that jump speed will be this minus KE will move here plus KE. So 2KE. P plus 2KE and this multiply. So it will move left side. So it will divide by ME. So P plus 2KE divided by M into E and omega J is square. So taking the square root of this omega J both side. So under root P plus 2KE divided by M into E. That is the jump speed of omega J. That is the value of jump speed. Under root P plus 2KE divided by ME. It means to avoid cam speed omega. To avoid cam speed omega should be less than jump speed omega J. So omega should be less than jump speed. At that time a jump will not occur. So cam jump should be avoided in the application. Now come to the problem statement which you may face in the examination. I read the problem statement. An eccentric plate circular cam of 160 mm diameter and eccentricity 40 mm provide motion to a spring loaded follower of mass 2 kg. The spring has a stiffness of 25 Newton per mm. It is rotated through 110 degree from its lowest position. Determine the speed if the initial compression of the spring is 32 mm and limiting speed of cam to avoid jump. That means you have to determine the speed. That means you have to find out omega and limiting speed or jump speed or critical speed. That means for avoid the jump, that means you have to find out omega J. Eccentricity is given 40 mm, that we have to convert in meter divided by 1000. So you will get the value of 0.04 meter. Mass is given M is equal to 2 kg. Stiffness capital K is given 25 Newton per mm. So I will convert it Newton per meter. 25 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter. A rotation, that is theta, is given 110 degree. An initial compression of spring delta I is given 32 mm, that I will convert in meter. So 0.034 meter. Now first you have to find out cam speed. So preload in the spring is mass into gravitational force plus K into delta I. That is the formula for preload. Mg plus K into delta I. mg plus k into delta I. So mass is given 2 into 9.81 plus mass you have to directly take in kg, and after conversion you will you have to multiply by 9.80, that will you will get in Newton. 2 into 9.81. Don't convert that kg initially here by multiplying 9.81, and again you will divide, convert it by 9.81. That is wrong. So take it as it is given in kg, and after that you have to multiply by 9.81, which is in formula. Okay. Plus k is given 25 into 10 raised to 3 in Newton per meter, and into delta I 0.032 meter. So you are getting the value here 819.62 Newton. Okay. Jump will occur when f is equal to 0. Jump will occur when f is equal to 0. So 0, I put the value of f here 890 in this equation. You have to use this equation, p plus ke plus e cos theta m omega square minus k. Here f is equal to 0. Preload is we have found out here 890.62 plus 25 to 10 raised to 3 into 0.04 p plus k into e, p plus k into e, p plus k into eccentricity 0.04 plus 2 omega square e cos theta into 2 into omega square. Okay, value of e is 0.04 into cos 110 plus 2 omega, here you can see m omega square minus k, m omega square minus k. So m is given mass 2 kg, omega square that we have to find out into minus k, 25 into 10 raised to 3. By simplifying, by solving this equation, we get here omega, value of omega is equal to 281.0741 radian per second. So conversion of that omega into n is equal to omega is equal to pi n upon 60. So by using that formula, we have found out here value of n is equal to 2684.06 rpm. This is the limiting speed at which jump will occur. Okay. Now we have to find out the limiting speed. Limiting speed omega j is equal to under root p plus 2 ke divided by me. So putting the values of p, k and e divided by 2 into, we are getting the value of omega j is equal to 187.7371 radian per second, and by conversion of that omega into rpm speed, rotating speed in rpm, we are getting here 1792.7572 rpm. Okay, so this is the limiting speed. Limiting speed, in that at that speed we are not getting the jump, so value of jump speed will always greater than this value. Okay, 2684.06, at that speed you will get the jump, and jump will occur here, so limiting speed will be always less than this value. Okay, in this way you have to solve the numerical. So at the end of this session, student can understood the jump phenomena, and student can able to solve the problems on jump speed. Thank you for watching this video.